Good afternoon and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Matt. I'm your host, joined by Ed, and making his debut finally. We got him up. Pulper, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Doing well. Been a day.
Good. So yeah, why are we here? Not really much to talk about, really, is there? Jack Grealish, Everton, McAtee, Forest, Savio, Tottenham, Rodrygo, Manchester City. Where does anyone want to start? We'll start with you, Pulp, seeing as you are the debutee.
Where do you want me to start, mate?
Wherever you want, because
I think we'll go with when I woke up at 5:10 this morning and saw the meltdown, and I'm like, oh my God. My opinion changed quite quickly on Savio, to be fair. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this can't be good. And then as you sort of think about it, and you think about how much he cost originally and what the sentiment last year, he was literally in the club just to see how he goes. He might go out on loan again because we don't know how good he is. And then he's played more this year because of injuries. Because let's be honest, Bob would have probably started the season anyway. So you think about it financially, can we get good money for him? And if we do, what's the value? I put a poll out on my X today, and the consensus is about 70 million. So you're thinking about 70 million, and then let Spurs deal with the development of him, and then we put that money out, and then it starts to develop into other players are trickling in. Grealish, I was with Daps before, then Grealish is doing his bit and he's going. Then McAtee's on his way, and it starts to make sense a bit. And then obviously the Rodrygo news drips in, and then you kind of understand that City have to players out. Grealish's wages will pay for somebody to come in. The transfer fees potentially from Savio and McAtee will pay for the player to come in as well. So we kind of it's been a day of balancing, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I'm not in any way upset by it. I just think it's a shame, but if we're getting bigger and better players, then that's kind of what we're all wanting, right?
Yeah. I'm over the moon with it, but I played a little bit dumb on the Rodrygo stuff for a little while.
I've been hearing about this, Martin. Why you do this to us, man?
Because I had to play dumb on it because, and like I said, I'm not the IT guy, so this is Pulpy off Aries. I'm not. I get the info. I got the info too. When did I first message you, Ed? When did I first message you? Was it 2 months ago? 3 months ago?
This is getting worse, mate. So I'm hearing that selective people are getting this information.
I want to say, like,
You know,
Late man.
you loyal fans like me, Martin, who I'm always there,
I
always
get in
supporting your
trouble because
shows.
only certain
I don't get a
the
peep.
info.
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Stu, you remember when it leaked that like our execs were going over to Brazil?
No,
And
mate,
we all
I
thought,
don't know a thing. I don't know. I don't hear a peep.
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah.
I got told the execs had gone to Brazil to have a meeting, but the trouble was it was only ever on the cards if a winger went out, and it wasn't Grealish that had to go out the door. At the time, my own personal thing was I thought it was Doku. I thought he was the guy who would go. For some weird reason, it's ended up being Savio, which is a bit weird. But again, that's still not done because Spurs have only offered 50 million and City have said get out of town. They want 70. It's now down whether Spurs up their bid because nothing will happen with Rodrygo. And I will stress this, nothing happens with Rodrygo or anyone else unless Savio goes to Tottenham. Now the ball is in Daniel Levy's court now. Up your bid. So, I mean, what is a fair fee for Savio? What is a fair fee?
I think anyone else 60 plus is a good fee for us, considering we only pay 30, we double our money in a year. If it's anyone from the top six, you're adding money on, and it's Levy tax. He's got to pay. He runs his mouth, and he runs his mouth about us. He's got to pay. Simple as that.
I'm with you. Make Tottenham pay through the nose.
Yeah, they want him. They're desperate for him. They've got no Maddison no more. You know, they need players like that. Make them pay. It's about time we as a club started to get real value for money for players now. It really is, because the amount of players we've let go a little bit cheaper just because we wanted them out and we kind of want to be seen as doing the right thing for football. No more.
with that number, because I agree with you, I want 72. Do you think it drops if we want to sell on?
Maybe a sell on. I think they might lower it slightly if you get a sell on. So if you get a say 20% sell on.
I don't see big teams doing that with each other. That's the sort of thing you do to a smaller club and say, you know what, you can have him a bit cheaper as long as we get a taste later on. You ain't doing that with your top six teams.
It's Daniel Levy. I don't see Daniel Levy doing us a favour.
No, not at all.
He's a guy that's got ego, right? And I'll be honest, Martin, I was listening to that fella on your space before who had a cute speech and he was talking very well. And he was talking politely. I'm talking about the Spurs fella. I think his name was Chef or something. It was a cute speech he gave, but I'm not with it. This guy was going on about some kind of relationship between Spurs and City. Nah, it's that relationship's them bridges are burnt as far as I'm concerned. You know, we've tried to do with them in the past and they show no respect. They didn't let Harry Kane go, and he was talking about how teams should let players go if they choose to want to go. And you know, they had absolutely, there was no help there whatsoever. We offered a fair fee, and they didn't want to entertain us on that fee. So now the shoe's on the other foot. I don't want to help them out one bit, mate. I actually wanted 70 to 80. Well, I'll if I have to lower it, then I'll lower it, and I'll settle for a lower fee because, you know, I want this exciting new toy. You know.
That's a good point of Lee Johnson is, and I forgot this. Savino's 20 million quid. Doku was nearly 60. Maybe they thought we can get a profit on Savino. We ain't gonna get and I'm gonna get called a Doku hater there. I know I will. I can see the Doku fanboys coming after me here in droves. You ain't getting a profit on Doku at the minute. No one more than 60 million quid on Jeremy Doku.
And the profit from Savio goes into the City Football Group anyway. A little bit gets stripped to Troy's done it because they own it. You know, they'll get a little bit. I can't imagine they'll get a taste, and it stays in house. So I think that's probably why it's a more attractive proposition. But make them pay, man. Make them pay.
Well, like Yusuf, I know you're our resident Liverpool fan, and I get why you're upset because Rodrygo ain't going to go to your gaff anymore, mate. But yeah, I get it. Hyped into oblivion, but the market's the market. The market's absolutely out of whack.
Let's get it right, mate. Savio is not a bad player. He's shown he's got a lot of potential, mate. I mean, he's clearly technically brilliant on the ball.
Can I be honest with you? I'm low-key a bit gutted we're losing him.
100%. You'd be a fool not to be, because he's shown a lot of promise despite his output of goals. He's still been great on the ball. He takes players on, and he delivers a lot of chances. So he's shown a lot of promise, mate.
It doesn't sting. It won't sting as much as Sane going.
Nah.
Sane was a big loss for us. I think the thing is about Savio, if he does go, we have a natural replacement there and 2 or 3 others. You know, we all want Oscar Bob to be that guy. Now he's got every opportunity to be that guy. Foden can play out there. Cherky can play out there. And I know nobody wants to hear it, but in the very, very depths of desperation, Bernardo Silva will play out there. You know, and if you had Savio, that's another person in that mix that potentially limits playing game time. Bob's game time. So you can't have it. If you want the best of Bob, you can't limit that by having Savio as another person there. You just won't. And we all know, I mentioned this before with Daps, how many teams in the Premier League play with a left-footed player on the left wing? They just don't. You know, there's probably Dwight McNeil at Everton that plays on the left as a left footer. So most teams do inverted stuff. Everyone's at it. So if it's not like Pep's going to change the whole system and chuck him out on the left wing all of a sudden just to keep him in the team. He's not. He is effectively, if you want the best of Oscar Bob, he's surplus to requirements, I'm afraid.
Yeah, by the way, Andrew, me and you spoke about this on WhatsApp back on the 11th of June. That's how far it was. And Andrew will confirm that. 11th of June, me and Andrew were talking about this on WhatsApp. This has always been on the cards. It was just someone had to go. Now, again, there is no guarantees Rodrygo happens. I know everyone's thinking, there's a queue at the Etihad at the minute, ready to get the name on the shirt, the number, and they're already there. There is nothing agreed yet. So I'm not saying don't get excited potentially, but it is not done. If Tottenham drag this out...
did happen, Martin, do you think he would slot right in on that left-hand side, mate? Or
yes.
Rodrygo? Yeah.
I'm excited for Rodrygo, not for the G&A. I know everyone goes on about this G&A, and that's the big issue they keep hitting Savio with. My thing with Rodrygo is his technical ability and his passing skills suit Pep Guardiola and his style.
He's a killer.
I'm bothered about the G&A.
He's a killer, isn't he? Yeah. Rodrygo's a killer. He has got that. He's a big moment player, and he will deliver. Yeah. He will deliver. He just will. He's got that Sterling, Mahrez just output. He just will. If he's not scoring, he's assisting. If he's not doing that, he's impacting the games in a way where just teams can't cope. Just is.
Calling you out, Steve.
Listen, he can say all he wants, yeah. All I know is see that fraud there. Yeah. I'm coming for some money off him very soon because we had a debate that he was certain that Doku was going to be sold, and I said, nah, he ain't getting sold. And lo and behold, Savio's the guy that's going to got sold. So I believe Doku will now stay, whether you like that or not. I think that's going to happen. And,
I don't think he'll play.
I want my money, man.
I don't think he's playing now.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I was going to ask you guys.
I'm coming for them pennies.
I was going to ask you guys, I know Popey brought up Bob. Does this impact Bob or Doku more with us bringing in Rodrygo? Because he's going to play the left, the right, maybe the 10, maybe the false 9. Who do you guys think this impacts more?
Whoever's going to play on the left, it really is. Rodrygo has been pushed out wide in Spain just to make space for that mad ass free up front that they've got, and I don't think he wants that. Put him in his strongest position. He's going to be going a direct up against Marmoush. Just those two players up against each other. He's going to be taking us to another level of competition. Just is.
Is anyone concerned for Omar Marmoush?
No.
Because one thing I have seen, and I know Twitter's a cesspool, which is why I've kept off it for a couple of months. But the one thing I will say is, this is my only worry last night, is I've seen a few people now go, Omar Marmoush, fight for your place and all. The guy's been here 6 months, and for me, Omar Marmoush has been electric. I am a massive Omar Marmoush fan. Where's Omar Marmoush going here? Because Rodrygo's coming in to play. If he comes in, he's not coming in to sit on a bench. I don't. And then, like you just said, Oscar Bob.
I have got a little bit of concerns, Martin. Not to Marmoush directly, because I think he's a fantastic player. But my only concern is, where is this guy going to play? Because, you know, Rodrygo was sliding on the left-hand side, you'd think, for sure. Oscar Bob would have his say on that right-hand side. Number 10, he's probably going to be Foden or Cherky. Where's this guy going to play, man? That's my only concern.
I think Oscar Bob is in bigger trouble than you think. Because I don't think we're going to play wingers.
Well,
it's nice to have the options, though.
Rodrygo for then.
It's going to be nice to have options, though, that people like that are on the bench rather than we're looking at the bench and thinking, oh, mate, we're struggling here. You've got world-class players on the bench, and the fact that 3 players are going to be going out and one's coming in, and that one player is going to have such an impact to the fact that he's knocking everybody else out of 30. If you're signing players for that money, they have to be a starter. They just do. And if that means one of our favourites has got to say, hey, come out of the team. You just got to do that. That's the way it's got to be.
I'll be surprised on the price, by the way.
By the way, I'm so glad someone remembered this months and months ago when I said it. I didn't say this was coming. I just couldn't say it. But again, it's not done. It's not done. Can I just say, Jack Grealish, because I know because by the way, Grealish and McAtee have both gone today as well. How do you look at Grealish and McAtee? Well, I think let's do one by one. Grealish's legacy at the club. That's to anyone. Anyone can jump on that.
I think with Grealish, lads, for me, he's a guy to be celebrated. I don't hate the guy, even to this day. If he was to stay, I wouldn't hate it. I think he's a good player. I think he's an amazing signing for Everton. I think he's going to offer them a lot. I like him despite his output. I've just always thought he offered what he offered. You know, technically good on the ball. He kept possession every time. If you're looking at output, you look at other areas of the pitch. You don't look at Grealish. You know, I don't think he's a guy to rely on for that. But I think he's a good player. And he's to be celebrated, man. We have some good memories with him. You know, he's a funny guy, nice guy. I just think he should be celebrated, Martin, to be honest. And no, I don't hate him. I don't hate what he's done for City. Thanks for your time here and that.
He's got to shake hands, say thanks for what you've done. Appreciate what you contribute on and off the field, because he's done a lot off the field. A lot of stuff that you won't hear about, just being generous and kind and being a nice bloke. You know, good guy in football. Didn't work out towards the end. Thanks very much, Happy Pop. Have a good career. And I want him to go there and absolutely cook, because one, it gets him in the England squad. I want to see him above Rashford. I don't want to see Rashford anywhere near the England team. So an on-form Jack Grealish gets the England squad, and then at the end of it all, if it doesn't work out ever and they don't buy him or we can sell him on for a bit of profit, then happy days.
Did you guys see the miss from Rashford as well?
That's true. I blew out. Would agree with that. I think it is about me. By the way, we're not doing any. We're trying. The comments are moving a bit wild at the minute. YouTube has gone mad, which is why all your names have changed. So I'm trying to keep up with all the comments, because this chat is just zinging at the moment. I'm trying to
fast there, mate. Fair play to you, mate. You're doing all right, aren't you?
Literally trying to keep up with them. There's 320 people on. To me, with Grealish, I'm sad to see him go, but I wish him all the best. It was the right time. You could see it come to the end. I believe he wasn't even picked for the Preston behind closed doors game, which I think that's just... I'm also glad for him and his partner, because I know they wanted to stay in the Northwest. I think Everton will be a great club. They've got a brand new stadium. I just hope David Moyes, I hope he can get his career back on track. I really do. I don't know what the wage to income ratio is on City and Everton. When I was on a show with Elton Wellesby yesterday, and Elton was under the impression that it was going to be 200 grand a week from Everton and 100 grand a week from City. So Everton are putting a lot of money into him. If Everton are going to put 200 million in, that's a lot of money. Sorry, 200 grand a week. So I just wish him all the best. I just wish him all the best. And McAtee, 20, 25 million is the figure being talked about from Nottingham Forest. Again, I don't think McAtee ever lived up to the expectations of some City fans. I do think, well, there's a question, and you can all jump in here. Did McAtee get a fair crack?
I think.
I think I've seen
Well, just to
enough,
speak
mate. To
on
be
Grealish
honest.
for me real quick. Anybody that wins you the treble, I mean, you can't talk about them in a negative light. For me, you thank them for what you did, for what they did, the memories they gave you. But not all players are going to be at your club for 5 to 10 years, right? And we just thank them for his service. For McAtee, I think at a club that's like City, when you're a young player, you're going to you're only going to have a handful of opportunities, and in those opportunities, you're going to have to bang. You're going to have to separate yourself from people your age, and unfortunately, with the players around him, the O'Reillys, the Rico Lewis, the Bobs, I think we could all tell that they show more when they're out on the pitch for us. Um, doesn't mean he doesn't have that potential. Doesn't mean he can't still reach that potential somewhere else. But unfortunately, I don't think he showed that enough here.
I think that the biggest issue for McAtee was the second loan move. Should have gone to another side. He shouldn't have showed the loyalty that he showed.
Pulper, where you at with James McAtee? Do you think he was doing a fair crack?
Yeah, I just don't think he's good enough, and there's no harm in that. You got to be thinking who's he not good enough to play for. One of the best teams in the world. It's not like it's a crime, is it? So be given a chance. Hasn't worked out. We'll get good money for him. We'll get money for him in the future. Good luck to him. Go and get a career somewhere else, mate. That's kind of what the academy's for. If we can't produce players for our team, then give him a good career to go and kill it somewhere else. And I think Forest is a good level for him.
Yeah, I'm probably with Pulpy on it. As much as I feel harsh because he is an academy player and I don't think he was good enough.
Yep.
And he won't be the first, he won't be the last, mate. There'll be others. There'll be another one next. There'll be 2 or 3 more in the next 5 years that come through, and you think, "Oh, I would love these."
That's what worries me with Bob. I don't want Bob to go because I think Bob's going to be a superstar.
This is why, Martin, I don't really look into this GNA thing or all that much. I know it's great and stuff to get GNA, but it was times where McAtee got a hat trick, and I was looking at his performance, thinking like, but I don't really see what you're offering the team like as an overall performance. Where I've seen Jack Grealish not scoring 10 games or whatever, and he's been a focal point through each 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? That's why I think for me it's obviously it helps having GNA, but it's not everything in this world.
I think GNA has played with people's minds. GNA is something that you look at in football, but all this other gaff. I look at tactics. Will the players suit tactically? And I'm of this belief: just because you're a top player somewhere else does not mean you're a top player for a Pep Guardiola Manchester City football club. So, for example, and I've always said this, and people think I'm crazy. I'm not sure if Mo Salah suits Manchester City under Pep. Because I don't think Mo Salah would be given the opportunity at City than what he was at Liverpool, if that makes sense. I think he'd be given a different role. And someone talked about this. I can't remember. It was an interview. Someone said, at City, you've got to work back. You've got to trap back. You've got to work like never before. Oh, that was it. The boys at Liverpool, they said under Klopp, we were told we had to trap back, move forward, come back inside, everyone defend. Under Slot, they're a bit more, no, your role is just to attack. Don't want you coming back. And they said it was very different. It took them ages to get used to him doing that. So, I don't know. Maybe that's me. What else happened today? Anyone else want to jump on anything McAtee before we feel like we're just skirting around McAtee? Like, bye, see ya, out the door.
I mean, there's not much to say in it. Like, he's an academy
McAtee,
kid.
I'd like to see that he had like some kind of sell-on fee or buyback clause because if he does get more of a chance and then prove to be something special, then I'd like to know that the option might be there in the future, or at least get a sell-on fee. I don't know, but I think I'd like to see. He's another guy. I'd just like to see him shine if it's possible.
There's a lot of people asking the same question, and big up by the way, Ninja's asking, do we know Grealish? Yeah, I've explained that one. Marmoush, this keeps coming up. Where is Marmoush going if Rodrygo comes in?
This is a concern for me, man. It is a little bit because Marmoush is such a good player. But again, I said it earlier on, mate. Where does he start in this team? It's so awkward for him right now. He's a guy that's done nothing wrong, obviously. But like, where do you guys start this guy? Especially if we get Rodrygo in.
I think he's better than Rodrygo.
Yeah.
That might be a shot, but I think it's better than Rodrygo.
There's something I didn't expect today.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Especially from a Brazilian. From an actual Brazilian there, not wearing a fake Brazilian shirt.
This is real, man. What do you mean?
Love the shirt, by the way.
You've got that PH Gate, don't lie. PH Gate special.
Adriano on the back.
Oh, that's a baller.
Yeah,
he was
man.
a baller.
Proper
baller. But I do think that Marmoush
talk
is
to me
better.
about Marmoush, man. What you think he's better than Rodrygo if he used to play on the
I think
left
he
as well?
is. I think he is, yes. Mate, Marmoush is such a good player. Like, I think we are underrating him. I genuinely think he's going to be about top 5 players in the league this season and top 10 Ballon d'Or. This is how highly I rate him.
But is this also not where we were when we were at our pomp? Did we not have world class or top players rotational? Is this not what we've been asking for in a way?
But Martin,
you play on form, not on name.
In theory, yes, but I don't think it's a smart way to use money if you have about 700k a week on one position and no right back.
Well, for me on that point, I just think. Oh, go ahead.
No, go on, mate. Go on, Ed. You're right. Carry
on. I know people are like, why are we spending this money when we got a right back? I think it's all about which right back they want. We're not going to spend money on a guy they feel like isn't good enough. And I know people are like, well, what's the point? Well, the point is, and for we've been talking about our wingers all off season. We have been. And I know we're a little worried about Marmoush, but we also have to remember that Pep isn't looking at Rodrygo as just a left winger. He's not looking at Marmoush just as a left winger. He's looking at across the front line. There's going to be games where he's going to be right wing, left wing, false 9, 10, and they're all going to – it's kind of like positionless. And, for the right back, we're just going to have to wait and be patient for the right guy. We're not gonna try to rush and bring in a guy, and then 12 months later, we're gonna be sitting here again saying we wasted money.
This is the thing. I would agree with you if we were getting a homegrown player, because then it would be between Livramento and the homegrown player, and I think we should be buying Livramento for 80 million. But since we're getting a non-homegrown player, this opens the options a lot. You can get a single, you can get a Van der Sar, you can get a Dodo, you can get a Kunde even if you tempt Barca enough. Like there's a lot of players that we can actually go ahead and try and get that would actually work very well, especially a player like a Van der Sar or a Dodo. They would be brilliant for the way we want to play. And if we're gonna get Rodrygo, that's basically one non-homegrown player for another one. So I don't think we should be moving in for him.
I think you probably know yourself, Martin. Yeah, this club's better ran than we probably could ever imagine.
Oh yeah.
Like you look at the prices that they want for Livramento.
Best run club in the world for me.
Yeah, so they look at the price there. They're probably thinking, right, okay, we don't want to pay that price, so we'll have a long-term plan instead. So they already know what they're doing next transfer window. So they write off the right back position of this one, but they know ahead on the next one what they're going to do then instead. Sometimes the club will be patient, guys, in terms of...
Look, I think Real Madrid have changed transfers the way they have just identified a player and waited 2, 3, 4 years from and said, look, run your contract down, we'll take you your peak. I don't see how City can't be doing that as well. Saying to somebody like, I don't know, you pick your target and say, look, we'll come for you this year. The club don't want to sell you. Well, just know we're interested and we'll have you eventually.
Yeah.
And I think that could be, I'm not saying it is, but somebody like Livermento would be the perfect sort of player for that to be, say, look, we'll try for you now. The money's there. The contract's there. We back you. We believe in you. You know us as a club and our project. A bit of trust and we'll come for you. And if it's not now, it'll be then. So would you want to wait a year, 2 years for Livermento or get a stopgap in and then have to deal with the fact that you're not getting Livermento in 2 years' time? I think
You
it's
could call
about
Nunes a stopgap, you know?
Well, it's about being patient. It's about being patient. We've suffered with a mediocre left back for years, and we've won everything. So now we can just do with a right back. Look, everyone's saying we've just got Nunes at right back. Lewis can stand in if we need to. He's not the greatest defender, but he can play there. John Stones will play right back. He played quite a bit against Palermo at the right hand side. So we do have options. We do have options. It's not the end of the world. And if that means a year, 2 years of waiting, then so be it. We've seen what we can do with a right back of Kyle Walker's quality for 8 years. So you get the next one in who's like Kyle Walker or 6, 7, 8, a lifer. Then it's worth the wait. You just have to wait, man. It's worth it. It really is.
But how long does he have left on his contract, dude? Does anyone know?
Livermento, I think he's probably 4 years, right? But
4 years.
I don't think the years matter. I think it's more Newcastle's status. If Newcastle drop out of Champions League next year, then that swings things in our favour.
In fairness as well, Pulpy, you look at Newcastle now. Eddie Howe said he only wants guys like Pep says.
Us, wants players that want.
He only wants guys that want to be there. So if Isaac makes it clear that he doesn't want to be there, then they'll negotiate a price. So if Livermento was to make it clear one day, maybe he obviously hasn't already. Maybe if he did, then the price could be negotiated. You never know.
By the way, big up for the super chat. Big up, Excelli Lutz for the 199. Legend, thank you so much for your kind generosity. Rodrygo, Haaland, Bob with Foden behind. See, that's the thing, and that's one option. I think we could ask. There's nearly 400 people in here. By the way, big up the likes, everyone. Smash those likes. It helps your channel. Appreciate that. We could ask everyone, and we'll all come up with a different front line. Because you've got Cherky, you've got Foden, you've got Marmoush, you've got Rodrygo potentially, you've got Doku, you've got Oscar Bob. And like Fee said, do you think Marmoush and Haaland will be rotated? Rotated, this is where I'm going to come in with the rotation thing, though. And this is where I am I need to see how it's going to work. And I know everyone's going to go, fight for your place, and it's great. Does that work, though, in reality? Because think about this. Why is Savio, because from the rumours and the talks that have happened, Savio is the one who's pushed for the move to Spurs. That's the narrative that's come out. He played over 3,000 minutes last season, and he said, I might need to go because it's a World Cup year. Alvarez played over 3,000 minutes. He has to leave. Does this rotational thing work? Because what Haaland and Marmoush want to play in the same big games.
Yeah, I think the big games are the ones that actually matter.
By the way. And Rodrygo. Remember, Rodrygo's leaving Madrid because he's not playing.
Because he's not playing in his position, right? That's the issue. I just think that the big games are the ones that actually matter in it.
But we also have.
Go on, Ed.
We also have to look at, the age of a player too. If we're going to be honest, this is probably Marmoush's last big contract. There is no in 2-3 years' time when he's in his 30s. I don't think there's a lot of, what next big move is there for him. This is one of the biggest clubs in the world, and sometimes we see this at Real Madrid, we see this at Barcelona, we see this at Bayern. Sometimes players are willing, when they get to a certain age, and understanding that I'm at one of the best clubs in the world. I should stay here every year. There might be he's a superstar. As long as he goes underneath him. We don't know form, we don't know injuries, and maybe it's worth it here. You never know. All depends on the player.
Yeah. I think the trouble with the striking position, Martin, is as long as Haaland's fit and ready, you don't rotate that guy. You know, he's not a guy you just pull out the team. This is why communication is important for me. If he feels any bit of tightness anywhere, if he's a bit sore, he's got to be communicating with the physios, with Pep. And, you know, even if it's a 5% risk he might get injured, you pull him out then. But only if that's the case. Other than that, mate, the trouble with the striking position and Haaland is he's not a guy you take out that team, is he? So for the striker, you know,
no, and that's what I mean.
It's not good, mate.
And my other thing is, someone mentioned this to me last night. I think it's a very good thing. Foden's got 2 years left in his deal. Phil Foden, we're looking at a contract negotiation. Is this something players look at? Or are we just going to rely on Phil Foden being a City fan and being happy to rotate around?
Phil Foden's a priority for me, Martin, mate. Jesus,
and I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, if Rodrygo's leaving Madrid for one reason, surely a lot of top players are like that. Because this is a World Cup year for everybody, isn't it? This is what I mean. Everyone's going to want to play in a World Cup year.
I think it's.
But what
it's
Foden went through, in the love the club gave him, I don't think Foden's going to forget that. Either.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say is, I think the one thing the Savio thing shows me is that the club are going to be ruthless. They are going to be ruthless as well. You're 12 months in and they're going, right, that bid's come in. We want to move him on.
This is what people have been calling for, Martin. Ruthlessness, isn't it, mate?
People want ruthlessness. They're getting it. Yeah. But what we can't do is, we can't turn around and go, well, be root. Spartacus's internet, I did get a message, was Dodger. We can't be ruthlessness through certain players. This is why I always get worried about player FC, because we can't do player FC in terms of be ruthless with my boys, but don't be ruthless with others. It's a weird one for me, and the Marmoush thing is the one where the Marmoush thing's got a question mark on my head.
I'll be honest, mate. I think as much as I love Doku, you know, he's got to be worried, man, because if you get Rodrygo, he's got to start on that left hand side, yeah, and a secondary, it's got to be Marmoush, mate. Marmoush cannot be third choice to come in the team. He has maximum second choice. So where does that leave Doku? That's the thing.
But it may have the opposite effect and may push them on to fight even more. This may make them improve as well. This may make Cherky, Foden, Marmoush, Rodrygo, everyone go, right, you've got to perform to be in this team. I'm trying to look at it from both sides at the minute. I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
It's going to be interesting to see how it all fits in, mate. And, you know, Pep's got a job to do, but that's why he gets paid a lot of money in it, because he's going to have to keep these guys happy, mate. And if they're not happy, then, you know, there's the door.
What's this Savio Simmons thing?
What is this about, man? I mean, you tell me, Martin.
I'm
coming here to get information of you, Martin. Don't ask me.
That's agent's Bangati, that.
Yeah, it stinks of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're trying to get Chelsea to pay them.
I think he's a great player.
Chelsea don't need him. I know it's madness that. Chelsea don't need him.
Well, don't see the Rodrygo thing. I get Savio Simmons. No, that's complete.
Why I don't get that.
I think it's clear Chelsea want him. We don't need him. I don't think Chelsea need him either. But I think Chelsea are a greedy team, innit? Chelsea will sign anybody if they can. So
Chelsea are a greedy team.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Tell me something I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, but it stinks of agents that trying to get a better deal for the player or speeding things up and trying to use City's name. It's happened before, it'll happen again.
I believe so as well.
Yeah.
They're probably finding the opportunity. The agents are probably looking at City today and saying, "Oh, look at all the outgoings they're making movements."
Yeah, City making moves.
Chelsea or whoever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's use City in it because of the outgoings. That's what it is.
No, that's where I disagree, LB. No, I agree. Get what you're saying, but players don't see it like that. That's the problem. Players don't see it like rotation.
You can't rotate a guy like Haaland, mine. Come on, I mean,
You can't rotate him. You can substitute him and you can drop him.
Yeah.
That's it.
You can drop him, yeah.
You can drop him for games. You don't rotate him. You say, right, mate, it's a dead rubber. You're off.
Yeah.
You'll get a day off.
Of course, mate. If he's fit though, yeah, you've got any game that you need to win, and he's fit. You know, he's a shoo-in, isn't he?
He has to play. He's an animal.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we've got to realise over the last 8 years, Palmer left because he wasn't getting minutes. Alvarez left because he wasn't getting his preferred position. Sterling left because he wasn't getting the minutes in the big games. Mahrez left for the same reason because he was playing against Sheffield United in the semi-final, banging hat-trick.
Yeah.
But he knew in the final he was on the bench. So he went, mate, I'm out of there. Kyle Walker kicked up a stinker after the Champions League final because he wasn't playing and had to go and have a bloody Chinese with Pep just to convince him not to go. Edison kicked his toe. I know everyone's doing this rotational stuff, but the history of the last few years has shown rotational doesn't work. I know in an ideal situation that's great, but it doesn't work.
Pep feels around.
You know a bit too much, you Martin. How do you know he's a Chinese man? Come on, this is getting scary now.
That's why he went, wasn't it?
I was with him. Did you not know? I worked for the club apparently.
Mike was on waiter service that night.
No, there's me, Pulpy and Tone. All of us are all on the city payroll there. We're all admins.
It's getting a bit weird this now, mate.
Because we're all happy clappers who are on the payroll.
But Martin, we have to also remember too that Holland does miss a month or so a season too.
Yes, and Marmoush is going to miss. How long is the AFCON? Minimum 4 weeks? 5
weeks, isn't it? About 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Depending on what teams
I think
play at certain
Egypt's are
points.
probably favourites as well, aren't they? So, don't know.
No, like I said, well, like judge it. You put Rodrygo playing the right, Marmoush on the left. So where's Cherky and Foden going? This is what I mean. It's a nice problem to have.
Based off that game the other night, Martin, I love Cherky in the middle as that attacking at 8 on the right hand side. He's so good.
Do you know what Cherky reminded me of? I don't know.
You said David Silva, isn't it, Martin?
Yeah.
He's got that.
And I don't mean he is David Silva because someone went, he's not. I don't mean.
Yeah.
Cherky's play style to me looks more David Silva like than KDB like.
Yeah.
He's delicate, he's soft, and you just feel like he's got massive bollocks. You can just tell. He's happy to play a pass 4 yards into danger. Just do it. He just really is.
And he was all over the
field, honestly, mate. Oh, straight away.
I could tell he had big balls when I watched him against United, Pulpy, mate. The way he took the game by the balls in that game. I thought this guy
plays like that with that ego.
Yeah.
That next level, they just go. It doesn't matter to me. Watch me go.
Hey, that celebration sold it all, didn't it, lads? When he celebrated against United the way he did.
Yeah.
I was sold then. I didn't have to see his performance.
Well, you say that. Savio was assisting the other night and looked happy as Larry, and he's in the middle of saying, I want to go to Spurs. There's something behind the Savio thing that we're going to get to. There's going to be a story that will come out in about 3 months about Savio. Something went wrong somewhere there.
I actually know a little bit about the story, by the way.
Oh, go on. We're getting exclusive.
Like, Brazil is the city I live in. Brazil is not a particularly big one. It's Belo Horizonte. So I live in the same area. The same area Savio used to go train and school and everything. So I know a couple of people that knew him quite close. And I went talking to some people here in Brazil, and I had another person tell me something, and the stories were kind of similar. So apparently, what went on is the Savio entourage went to Spurs without Savio's consent, and we're talking to them, right? And then they went to City and told Savio that was happening, and apparently, because City wasn't like, yeah, no, you're not leaving, you have to stay. No. Savio also went like, yeah, if City accept the deal, I'll go, but he's not gonna kick up a fuss. He's not gonna be angry. He's not gonna be annoyed if he stays. It's not like his priority to go now.
Yeah.
It's basically this that happened. It's not like Pep didn't have a fall off with Savio. Savio didn't get fed up with the club. It's just a situation where the club doesn't want him to stay strongly enough to make him want to stay strongly enough as well.
What it stinks of as well is if he goes to Spurs now, he's gonna double his money. So it's like, is that what this is about?
No, he was gonna double the money anyways.
Reckon,
Yeah. Like, I just think that's a situation where City. I think he's gonna more than double his money. By the way.
I agree. Yeah, he probably will. Yeah, more than that.
I think City just didn't show enough interest to keep him, and Savio therefore didn't show enough interest to stay.
I think he's a big confidence player as well, mate. You know, I can see it in his face. Like when he misses chances, he's worried in the next shot he has, and you know, like I think back of his mind, he might want a bit of a fresh start because he's not got the goals he would have liked. I don't know. I just think he's a big confidence player. So,
Poppy, I'm gonna tell you a funny thing. I actually played against him a couple of times because I used to play for Cruzeiro, the rivals of Atlético Mineiro, in the academy days, and he was a couple of years ahead of his actual age because he was just that good. And I've played against him a couple of times, and you could clearly see that, like, he was
you should have said that earlier, bro. That's crazy.
But yeah, he's a massive confidence player, and
yeah,
as I said it before, like he's always said that his dream was to play for City. So that's why I'm a little bit sad that he's going as well, because the kid actually wants to stay here and wants to fight for his base. But like, if the club doesn't value enough to block out a move, he's not going to do the same. And apparently, this is the situation.
Yeah, bro. I'm a bit behind on the chat. My apologies because there's so many in.
Chat's going crazy.
Big up, by the way, to Recoup for the 22 months. Mate, you are a legend. And Simon Clark for the 19 months. You are a legend. And anyone who's not seen this before, Rodrygo, thanks.
I'm emotional. I mean, this is a dream come true. All these guys deserve. All these guys around here.
See, there you go. But we get Rodri to do clips on this channel. Costs us a lot of money, that one. But yeah, and also, thank you so much, Annie Ethiopia 8050. I hate YouTube doing this for these names now. I hate these new names. Everyone's got a number. Everyone's now got the real name being exposed. But yeah, Doku, Haaland, Marmoush, Bob Foden are enough. So you wouldn't buy? Are you saying you wouldn't buy Rodrygo then? I'm presuming. Reading
the only worry is if Bob's probably going to get injured, mate, and you know, Foden's probably going to get injured. Marmoush is going to the AFCON. You know, that's my only concern. If we don't get one more signing, you know.
Oh, is it 30 million for McAtee? Decent fee then. Is there any sell-ons? I don't know. I haven't seen anything. The only thing I have seen...
No details have been put out, Martin. No details.
Which, by the way, does worry me. Have you seen La Liga have approved Villarreal's game in Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dangerous.
That's
dangerous.
Man.
I'm telling you, this Super League's coming at some stage.
Well, what are you even doing that for? Is it just a money move?
Absolutely, because the La Liga's got no money.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They funneled it all to Barcelona and Real Madrid for the last 25 years, and that's why.
Don't they already play like the Copa del Rey in Saudi Arabia or something like that?
Oh, sorry, we've had an update on the Savio stuff. There is this is from, is it Romelu Soares? Is he Brazilian, I'm presuming? There is no possibility of a deal happening with Tottenham with Savio based on their initial 50 million euro, so it's euro, proposal for the City winger. The Brazilian is willing to make the move, but City will not entertain that fee. So that's what I'm saying. Everyone's jumping on the Rodrygo bandwagon. I'm telling you, Daniel Levy is dragging this out for about 2 weeks.
Do you not think we can make a move without actually confirming that the outgoing of Savio, Martin? Do you not think we could make that move for Rodrygo now?
No.
Just because of the squad size, you think?
Yeah.
I
don't see us, because if you get Rodrygo and then Tottenham don't come back with an improved bid,
you're knackered.
What do you do then? Then you are going to have to move. That's when Oscar Bob does go. It's that's my worry. That was my thing with Tottenham.
I think they really want Savio, though, innit? So Hopefully.
The one thing I will say, maybe the club have become what we asked them to be, and an old fart like me can't get his head around it because he's too much of a main road, you know what.
I thought you
But
told me
the
you're only
simple-
25, Martin.
Yeah, part of where I wish. But maybe last season the club just thought, you know what? Yes, we need to be more ruthless. We need to be fight for your place, and if you're not happy, you're not happy. Maybe we're just going to go screw it, sit on the bench. Maybe that's the way we are going to go. Because I mean, here's the
I
thing:
don't know.
are we ruling out a right back then? Because Jack Gordon told everyone last week we were finished, and now we're doing this. 3 players are out the door in one day potentially, and Rodrygo's been linked.
I think once the season starts next week, towards the end of the transfer window, you'll see some more stuff happening. Somebody might get injured for us. Somebody might get injured at a team. They might have to start selling players. Players might see the start of the season and go, you know what, I've had enough of this shit, I'm done. Because they might lose their first 3 games and Mental's like, I've got to go, boss. You know what I mean? You just don't know. Plenty more action to come in the transfer market.
I think a lot of players are waiting for a domino effect to happen. I think a lot of them are.
Can I ask it even with this is really going to cause uproar? As the super chat said, what could we sell? Could anyone see a scenario where we sell Savio and don't buy anyone?
I would do that as well, by the way.
Oh, I think that only happens, Martin, if Savio wants to go.
Yeah.
And that fits in with the narrative of the club of saying, if you don't want to be here, you're gone. So that's the only way that happens. I don't think City are going to sell him just because a decent bid's come in, because I think they're actually be happy to keep him if he wants to stay.
I also think as well, City aren't just going to let them screw us in the sense that I think we will set a decent price that we want, and if they're not getting near it, then we'll probably just tell them to fuck off, you know.
Yeah, I think they would have been told to get lost now if it weren't anywhere near.
Yeah.
The fact that they're negotiating on it and it's nudging up a little bit means a deal will get done. Everyone's got a price tag.
Steve, how much do you think the price tag would be for Savio?
I reckon they'll probably agree around some daft like 62. The both clubs, I think, will agree.
I think that's low. I think that's very low.
I think it's low, but
I think City do this deal at 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's worth 70 plus, but
that's my thing with Rodrygo, by the way. He's leaving Madrid because he doesn't feel valued. He's not going to come to City to rotate around.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason he's leaving Madrid.
There's a little bit, Martin, there's a little bit more to it as well. It's not only because it's being played around, it's also because he's always being put as the second thing. Like, he's never amongst the best players, he's never amongst the most important people at the club. And I think if he comes to City, I think he's going to have that as well.
He deserves to be like a main man, is what you're saying, isn't it? Right.
Not even just the main man, but just not be just enough. Because the thing is, Madrid right now, he's an afterthought for everyone, for the manager, for the hierarchy, for everybody. He's just an afterthought, and he doesn't want to be that. He just want to be valued as not as a main guy, but not just as an afterthought either.
So do you think Turkey's going to get this 10 shirt, man? This number 10 shirt? He has to, right?
I don't know what's going to happen. Because I had a driver who picked him up from London last week. So knew, I remember the WhatsApp chat we had. We did have that chat. By the way, throwing it on, smash those likes, helps the channel. I just, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, Savio goes, do we put stocks in Echeverri and Oscar Bob? And I can see everyone typing now going, no. But I also wouldn't put that past the club of going, Oscar Bob and Echeverri, let's go. Because Echeverri's not moved anywhere yet.
Yeah, I think this is a mistake. If we're putting the eggs on Echeverri instead of Savio, I think it's a mistake.
30 million. Fact checker, around about 30 million. I think that's pounds. Yes, pounds. 27 million with add-ons. Jack Garner. So 27 million with add-ons. So that's where we're at the moment. There's not much other stuff around. Is anything else? Anything you want to add? Oh, there is something from Fabrizio. Donnarumma will leave PSG for sure. Most likely this or eventually next summer. The relationship is completely broken after the club decided to exclude him from their squad from the Super Cup. Understand the Premier League is his most likely destination. So there's going to be links to Donnarumma in the next few days. Then.
I mean, this means Chelsea, and it has to.
If anyone at Chelsea is looking, he has to be the answer there. Chelsea have got absolute donkeys in there. They've only got 9 keepers on the books, and not got a decent keeper between them.
Well, Graham Bailey had mentioned the other day, Pulpy, when we had him on. Because by the way, big up Graham Bailey. He did break the Savio news last week on the channel. He said he can't rule out Edison or Gundogan going to Galatasaray.
I think probably Gundogan will be the more likely one.
But if Edison wants to go, I can't see you would have in a world where you've bought Drains Trafford and then you go and buy number 1.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a kick in the ball. I'm going to be it's a kick in the balls to Trafford, Pulp.
Straight away you brought him in and you ruined him.
Yeah.
I could see Donnarumma going to United as well.
Be wasting his career at United, wouldn't he? I can't see him wanting to do that. He goes to another level.
I think it's just going to Chelsea. That just makes too much sense. I think.
Yeah.
You know what United are like, though, innit? They always get them daft names. You know, like they just end up.
But the best. The next coming to Peter Schmeichel. Just every player they sign is the greatest signing of all time. Just is.
And the thing, like, a lot of people want Donnarumma at City, but I think most people are forgetting that he was actually shit for PSG aside from this past season. Like, he wasn't good for them.
We've played our hand, didn't it, lads? We made our signing as a goalkeeper, so it's not going to happen.
I see Donnarumma as like one of these old school goalkeepers that are just not needed anymore. He's the last of that old school generation where big guys, units, great crosses, can make saves, but absolutely shocking with his feet and doesn't work.
This is the thing about Trafford, mate. I think he's the best of both worlds. You know, he's a unit himself.
He's a hybrid, yeah. He's kind of a mix from the old. Well, I say old, like the '90s to 2000s. Whereas now it's more you need a midfielder in there.
The one mistake I've seen Trafford make, but I don't know what he was like. I don't know. He felt a bit too comfortable there. He should have just kicked it first time, shouldn't he? You know which one I mean in the game the other day.
Yeah, but he's playing on like a festival field, isn't he?
I think he's always just a little bit nervous. But,
of course. I don't have any worries about him.
I think he's going for the first few games. He's going to overplay the ball a lot because he's going to try to prove that he's comfortable with his feet.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, he's going to start chilling a little bit more and make the right choices more often.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a very intriguing. I'll be honest with you. I was hoping for a very quiet last 2.5 weeks. I just thought we could talk about the season predictions and have a nice quiet 2 weeks. Just that isn't happening, is it? It's not going to happen.
No such thing as quiet in City.
The latest news is Jack Grealish has gone to Everton. Wish him all the best. McAtee has gone to Nottingham Forest. Wish him all the best. Savio, at the moment, is going nowhere until Tottenham stop being tight asses and pull their hand out and pay a bit more money. And Rodrygo, we'll see.
If Savio not in the squad on Saturday, that'll be telling.
That's the big thing. That's a great point, that Ed. Will Savio be in the squad for Wolves?
No.
I think he will because he has not fallen off with anybody. I think everything he's doing has been done very amicably. So I think he will.
It depends how advanced these negotiations are, innit, lads? It'll be a big.
I don't think he'll be there. I don't think at all. You protect you if you really want to. If you want to make the deal, you just don't risk it. You just don't risk it.
Yeah.
The agents will not want him to play. The staff won't want him to play. Tottenham won't want him to play if you're protecting it. So, like, if you're buying a house, would you let somebody have a party in it? If you're 2 weeks away from buying it, you wouldn't, would you?
Yeah, you wouldn't do a B&B with it, would you?
Yeah.
Because can you imagine it's party because he runs down the wing, does his hamstring,
does his ACL,
yeah,
and then it's like, nice one, mate. Then we
I
don't
mean,
get
on the
Rodrygo,
bench.
and we've got an injured player for a year.
No, I mean on the bench. I don't think he will start.
I'm also a bit disappointed in Savio where
A little bit as well. I think he could have done more, but at the same time, like, I understand his point of view. At the end of the day, if the club is not fighting for you, the other club is giving you what you want. Like, I understand why he's making the choice. I wouldn't make it. I think he's doing the wrong choice, but I understand why he's doing it.
anyone take Donnarumma as a free next year?
Nah, I'm good, man. Thanks, though.
Ed, do you want Donnarumma? 6'6"? Can't kick for toffee, but he's an all right saver.
6'6".
I
think Colby's about 6'8" if you want him.
The thing is with Trafford, you let him go 2 years ago because he didn't want it, because he wanted a route to the number one. You bring him back and then turn around and go and get Donnarumma underneath him. That is the biggest kick in the bollocks to James Trafford that you've ever seen. And I know we're trying to be ruthless, but that's just cruel. That's just cruel at that point. But yeah, so no, I probably wouldn't play Savio Saturday. I wouldn't.
The sad thing about Savio, mine, is if he could just sort his shooting out, the guy would be one of the perfect players, man. He's just so bad in front of goal. It's crazy. It's sad.
He has never been particularly great in front of goal, but I think it's gotten worse in City.
It's the composure in it, and it's the confidence, like I said before, bro. You know, his confidence isn't there. So
I think it's also the type of finishings that he's trying to do right now. I think he's a lot better when he's coming in, when he's cutting inside and having those shots just inside the box. He's a lot better at those than the ones that he's having to finish right now. He's trying to finish.
Yeah, by the way, Grealish has a £50 million option to turn that into permanent next summer, which is actually more than what I thought, because then we get
profit. That's a lot for Grealish.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen. I don't think so.
Yeah, no chance, mate. I don't think.
50.
Well, that's what's been agreed upon. £50 million option. The other thing is, Crystal Palace have now also. Tottenham have opened talks with Crystal Palace over Eze.
Tottenham are looking at Eze, did you say?
Yeah. And apparently it's separate to Savio, not instead of.
Is Eze the Madsen replacement?
Arsenal better get a move on then, man.
Yeah. Do you want to know the most tragic news of the day?
Rodrygo's off.
I'll just send this because I think it's quite a nice photo to actually end on. I'm going to send you. So we've seen, by the way, the third kick's been announced. That's now confirmed.
Is it that raining one?
It is. I will just show you. It is now confirmed. I should have had all this sorted out, shouldn't I? Poor planning.
Before Martin puts that up, I think that Savio will be a Spurs player before we play them on the 23rd.
Very possible, mate.
All right, are you getting Savio in before his replacement? Or are you getting him in at the same time?
I think it's going to be about at the same time.
I'm not sure.
I don't know at the same time.
It'll be within a week. It'll be within a week. Once you see that Savio sign, it's confirmed. Then I imagine he'll move quite quickly on.
I think it could be the next day, Pulpy, mate.
Couple of days.
You know
Couple of days.
Yeah.
I think the Rodrygo signing is a lot more advanced than some people were thinking.
Yeah, it's a case of. I mean, obviously, Martin knew about it a while back, but it's done. Fees are probably agreed or there or thereabouts. Personal terms are done. Let us shift someone out before we do it, and we'll come back for you. And there's an element of trust there.
just to go back from the thing from the space, Martin, I really don't think that Liverpool are going to do a PR thing on this Rodrygo situation. Like, I really don't think so.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because is there an alternative to Rodrygo if it's not Rodrygo?
What for
Or
us?
is it Rodrygo?
I'd like Elise from Bayern.
He's not leaving, is he? Just got
You're
there.
doing that to wind me
I know how much you like.
You know
him,
you're
man.
doing that to wind me up.
But to be fair, at least he's a depth centre for
Is
Pop.
there any alternative to Rodrygo if it's not Rodrygo?
I've not paid. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm not paying attention purely because the transfer. I've got transfer fatigue. I'm sick of it, and today's just absolutely ruined me. 4 hours of just I don't know. We shop. We are now shopping at the very, very, very top level for players, and if you're looking at paying 100 million euros for Rodrygo, who is out there in world football that's like that? That's available. There's no one.
I'd say I think it's possible because I think he's having a one-off season. I don't think he's going to keep that up. But I think Rafinha is also a possibility.
But he's 28, 29, Rafinha.
I think he's a great player.
27.
Yeah, look, Barcelona aren't going to let him go.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be
No
surprised.
more than that. Look, I don't know. You're looking at. One thing we don't need a project player because I'm sick of that as well. We need someone to
not a
come
project
That's
player.
one thing that Rafinha isn't it? Rafinha's a proven guy, bro. He's mature as well.
I can't imagine Barcelona willing to bring Rashford in on loan and then let Rafinha go.
No, by the way, Phantom, we're not swapping goalies around for tactics. We're not Arteta. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. You don't play goalies on how the opposition play.
But yeah,
Is there any wingers in the Premier League, lads, that you guys would be interested in the Premier League?
In the Premier League?
No, not really.
I wouldn't mind.
But Bukayo Saka, there's one.
I wouldn't mind Deza.
I'm trying to be realistic on this one.
Mind Deza.
Test the waters, man. Bukayo Saka, mate.
Winger.
I know Rodrygo's name, and I know he's the sexy name, and I know he's the FIFA guy who goes on the front cover. But Eze, I think, is a good player as well.
If we're going unrealistic, I know he isn't a winger, but Kobe Mainoo from Man United, I think he's a baller.
Oh, it's made me sick.
Probably don't like
He's a
him,
baller.
man.
He's
a
the
baller.
bangest of average.
That's a good
Jesus,
shout, you know.
no.
Anthony Gordon.
No.
Hey, if you're pulling Newcastle's pants down, it's not for Gordon. Let's be honest.
Savio is a better player, and if we're going to get a Newcastle player, get Livermore. Come on.
If we are looking for an alternative for what would be a Rodrygo, you need a killer. You need somebody who's a killer.
What we doing now? Salah's just getting chucked around now.
Salah is an unk. He's an unk. We can do this.
Yeah, we can't sign Salah. He's 35. He's a granddad.
That's what I would do, though, Pulpy. I'd go and hijack Isaac. If I was going to get a player from the Premier League, I'd go and get him.
Maybe we're just talking about Marmoush can't play. What about mate?
What you doing here, Steve? Isaac.
That would be funny as hell.
So what? Haaland goes left wing.
Isaac
on the left wing.
Yeah, man. In a dream world, mate.
By the way, this has we're going to end in a minute, but yeah, Grealish takes a seat at Everton's training ground with the Everton fan. He looks happy.
Fair play to him. Dodgy tracksuit.
Best of luck to him. This is the confirmed third kit.
Right. Everyone loses the shit about kits, don't they? They do. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Keep your mouth shut. Move on.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. At the end of the day,
we still cheer the team on it.
Don't like.
Oh, I'm upside down now.
I reckon that suits Steve, that shirt. I reckon that would suit you, man.
Do you know what? I haven't bought anything yet. I've only bought the home kit. I haven't bought any away kit yet.
Now, Martin,
I had to buy the black one. It's just too good not to.
To be fair, Rodrygo on that black kit's
on
gonna
the
hit.
I went for the original mail.
Martin spends all his money on holidays and Starbucks.
No, he's a Costa guy. Come on.
I've got 2 holidays booked next year as well. Now.
See what I mean, man?
Yeah, we shall. But anyway, yeah, we'll leave it there. This is going to take you over to, are they live now? I just want to double check they are actually live. This should take you to South Stand with Daps and Steve. I think yes, they are live. So this is going to take you over there. Big up to Steve and Pulpy. Won't be the last time you see them on the channel, hopefully.
Cheers for having us, mate.
Yeah, man.
No, anytime. Big up Spartacus and Ed as well. We will be back tomorrow with the debut of the Oil Brothers. If anything breaks in between, we will do something. But smash them few likes on the way out. Share it around as we march to 10K as soon as possible. And we'll see you on the next one. And as always, up the Blues. By the way, in South Stand chat, Mankway Raid. Mankway Raid. Don't put anything else because you're dirty minds. I will put it up so you can all do because I know I've done this before and it went a bit wrong. Mankway Raid. I am on Judge Mo at 6:45 as well. I will tweet it out. Take care, all. And as always, up the Blues.